Hey, I'm Ben Silverio.
And I'm Erin Cline.
And I'm Ansel Burch.
And it's
Time
to party.
We are not doctors. We don't give medical advice. Please drink responsibly. Today's episode was recorded on February 27th, 2026. Wah, wah, wah.
Guitar.
Just a completely different score. Not even the same composer or anything.
No.
Hey, but you're branching out from the two songs you knew before, so I'm proud
trying. Look at that. Look at us. Huh? Who thought we'd be here? Not me.
of you. Some effort was expended. Pew, pew, pew.
Party people. Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We are Time to Party, where we take a look back at some of your favorite time travel media and remind you if they're worth your time or not. Yeah. Look at us describing stuff and things that we do. This month is big for a number of reasons. First reason, episode 200 coming at you. Second reason, the incredible Erin Cline is back.
Hi, it's me. I've returned.
As the prophecy foretold.
Yeah. Yay.
And the third reason why this is so monumental, at least for us, we're changing things up. We are switching things around. We were like, oh hey, let's change the posters on the wall. Let's modernize a bit. You know,
move the couch over there.
Exactly. Yeah. In that spirit, the way things are gonna work from here on out, if you've been a long time listener, things will be slightly different. So episode 1 now is what I like to call some real talk, as an REEL talk, where we review the movie that we're talking about that month. Yes, I have cute names.
That
for
might
everything.
Be copywritten.
Sure.
But it's not the name of the show, so leave us alone.
Exactly. It's the name of the segment. Episode 2 will be our party favors episode, because who doesn't love a little gifty gift at a party, you know? Don't go home empty-handed and all that. So that is now where you can find our drinking and smoking game for when you're re-watching or watching for the first time, whatever movie we're talking about. And then that's where you'll be able to find edutainment with the hand gesture and everything.
Ooh.
Yeah, where we decide to be inspired to learn something new based on whatever we're watching. And it's probably going to be ridiculous. And the new episode 3 is the conversation pit. You know, we've been having guests on Time to Party for a long time, you know, and I feel like we should get to know our guests a little bit more and have a bit of a more drawn out conversation with them, because they're amazing and we want to spend more time with them talking about other stuff, you know? Maybe it doesn't always fit in with time travel.
Yeah.
So
imagine that, us going on tangents and talking about other things.
we now have an officially sanctioned time to do it.
Woo.
Exactly. And maybe
not to say we won't do it
learn.
Every other time as well.
I mean, yeah, that's also true. And maybe our listeners will get to learn a little bit more about our special friends that we bring on to talk to us and hang out with us for a little bit and put up with our bullshit.
Yeah.
So, first shot right out of the gate, we decided it was very important to bring back the Enigma Erin Cline as we, you know, reach this milestone and branch off into the new version of Time to Party. You know, we're the charcuterie now. You know, it's not just jungle juice.
Oh, we've upgraded. We're not just horribly poor college students. Now we're refined.
I didn't say the jungle juice was gone.
We've
I'm just
learned
adding
that you
more
can
things.
also buy wine on the same
out of the box.
Fair,
who would have guessed? But yes, we are talking this month about, I mean, this movie really needs no introduction. It is like the time travel movie. like every other time travel movie that came after it references it, for the most part.
Indirectly
We are talking
or
about,
otherwise, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yes, we will be talking about the 1985 seminal time travel movie Back to the Future from Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, starring Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox. And God, you know about this movie already, but in case you don't, here's what IMDb has to say. Marty
I know some
McFly.
people. I've met some people who have never seen it. It's so bizarre. I like don't know how to
Oh
feel
my
about
God.
it.
Wow.
It
What a
surprises me every
treasure,
time.
though. Like, they still have it ahead of them.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
know.
I'm
That's
a
how I
little
feel. I'm like,
jealous.
let me deliver this gift to you.
Yes.
I want to watch
Please.
you watch this.
Right?
Oh my God. Especially if it's on the big screen, like at the music box.
Mm,
Oh my
mm.
God. You sweet summer children. You don't know what you're in for. Yeah, if you're one of our friends who doesn't know about Back to the Future, here's what IMDb has to say. Marty McFly, a 17-year-old high school student, is accidentally sent 30 years into the past in a time-traveling DeLorean invented by his close friend, the Maverick scientist Doc Brown. The Maverick. Huh.
Maverick scientist. That's an adjective.
You know why that
I was just
you
going to
know
say
why that
that's a
doesn't
word.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know why it doesn't sit well with me? Because you know whose nickname is the Maverick in WWE? Logan Paul.
I don't.
Ugh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Isn't
too
that
bad.
gross?
Ew.
I don't want to
Don't like
compare
that.
Doc Brown to Logan Paul.
No.
All right. This is the first time, and after 5 years, I'm shocked it's the first time that I'm going to ask, how hard is it to go in and edit the synopses? Can we pick a new word?
Oh.
Is it like Wikipedia where you just have to like get verified?
I wonder, like, if you have IMDb Pro, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I picture that there's like a guy at every studio with the password that he keeps on a sticky note. It's like, if we need to change this stuff.
Right there.
Yep.
And then when he gets fired, when the Ellisons take over, who knows what'll happen next?
We can't get started on that, Ben.
I know
we can't do that.
can't. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Hey, this episode is coming out in the future, so who knows what kinds of new hell we'll be in over there.
Oh, you mean everything? It's like that
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now? Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay.
Oh, everything is on fire, like the
how's the
tracks of the
wasteland?
DeLorean.
Right.
Yeah.
How are the horrors?
Oh God, it's terrible. Well, okay. Instead of talking about terrible things, let's get this started off by saying, I hesitate to call any piece of media perfect, but I feel like Back to the Future, the movie, and the trilogy as a whole are about as close as you're gonna get in terms of a movie. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel like this movie, like you said before, is like the seminal time travel movie, and it's hard to think of them not as a group because they
Yeah.
have been a group my whole life. Like I feel like
Mhm.
that's part of why they feel that way, but I feel like you can take the first one out of the trilogy in a way you cannot with any of the other ones, and so I feel like
Mhm.
this one stands in a different way than, even though it is grouped inside of this trio, I feel like it can stand so much on its own. Like the second one can stand on its own as a movie because it's absolutely batshit and it like explains
Yes.
itself like 4 different times. But like the third one you can't take out of the trilogy. Like that's just
But-
not and it doesn't make any sense if you haven't seen at least the first one. But the
Mhm.
first one is just, this is it. This is time travel. This is what it feels like. It's just such a good introduction into time travel.
Oh yeah.
It's also especially good because it explains the rules of time travel without falling into the trap that every movie following this did, which is to have to have the scientist character explain the rules of time travel. Aside from Doc warning about the like dangers of messing up the time stream, he doesn't give a big, long, drawn-out speech about the rules or how time travel works. He's not like, no, that's not how time travel works. because Marty has no assumptions. Yeah, it really does kick it off with, I think, the most perfect execution of the time travel conceit. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I think you're right. It is a perfect movie. It's beautifully shot. It's well made. They went to the trouble of recasting the main actor and reshooting the whole damn movie. Like, that's integrity.
Dude, that blows my mind. I still
Oh
cannot
yeah.
believe that they did that. That it's such a, first of all, a bold choice, but also
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
what a great choice also. I
Oh
think
yeah.
that definitely contributes to it being a perfect movie. Like it, again, it just stands out on its own in such a way that
I
it's
would
like
watch the
it feels
Eric cut if
seminal.
it
I
was
love it.
available, but yeah, I don't need it.
Mhm. Cuz all they have now are
This
like photo stills. Like I don't even think you can find that anywhere.
There are little snips that I've seen here and there.
nothing too full.
Yeah, I don't know if they had to
Yeah.
destroy the film or whatever.
It is kind of crazy how the stars just aligned in such a perfect way to make every little thing happen for this to go just right. And it's like I know there are still things that are not as perfect about it, like the Crispin Glover stuff and like things that came later. But just the fact that this movie got made at all is kind of a miracle. And then the way that it turned out to become this cultural phenomena that like generations still hold dear after all this time. It's great. I mean, this is still probably one of the most requested movies we get, whenever we talk to a guest and they're like, "Hey, what movie do you want to do?" They'll usually say Back to the Future first, and then I'll be like, "Sorry, we're saving it."
We're
That
saving
one
that one.
saved, sorry.
This is the last one we get to do,
Yeah,
though.
Ah,
that's wild. We've
that
trekked through all of them in reverse order.
yeah, that's true. Unless
Now we have to do a bootleg of the
Oh
musical.
God.
yeah. Oh man, I
Oh,
wasn't even
I'd
going to bring
rather
up the
not.
musical until later.
Ugh. Pin it. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember the first time you saw Back to the Future?
Sort of. I kind of remember it. It was my sick day movie. And so I remember it being on an old VHS. All three of them were on there together. And my mom would just put us in the basement with the TV and just like push the VHS in and be like, see it in 9 hours, I guess. So I remember that, like that experience, but I don't know if I remember the actual first time that I saw it. I was young enough that like every time I saw it, it was exciting and new, and I like, yeah, I don't know. I sort of remember. That's the answer that I want to say. I sort of remember.
Yeah, I also don't know that I can remember the first time. I was definitely very, very young, and I feel like it must have been a rental thing because we didn't have a copy of it. So we must have rented it, 50 times every time we wanted
Hmm.
to see it. But God, yeah, it's part of the fabric. The first time is that's a hard one to recall when it's so
Hmm.
Yeah.
integral. How about you, Ben? Do you have a solid memory of your first
I,
time?
I was thinking long and hard about this, and I don't remember a time when I wasn't a fan of this movie. But Ansel, like you, I don't think we owned it.
Mm-hmm.
So I I I, I feel like my first introduction to Back to the Future was the ride at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Oh,
Wild.
interesting.
Because like we did theme parks a lot when I was really young. So Back to the Future was one of those rides that little kids could go on.
Hmm.
It wasn't like a roller coaster or anything. It was a
Oh
simulator.
yeah, you're
So
not going
yeah.
upside
Right. Yeah.
down. You're not going to
It's
fall
kind
out
of
of the
shaken.
thing.
So I don't know if this is true or not, but my own headcanon for myself is that I went on the ride first and then got obsessed with the movie and then probably rented it and
Hmm.
then it took off
Yeah.
from there. But, since then I have seen it on basically every like piece of physical media that's been released, VHS, Laserdisc, Blu-ray, all that. I've seen it theatrically a number of times. Um, in fact, my last movie as a resident of Chicago were the 3 Back to the Future movies in a triple feature at the Music Box. Oh, so good.
Yeah,
What a
for real.
time.
Yes. But it just feels like Back to the Future has always been there. And I mean, like, for us specifically as a group, I feel like it's also ingrained in our friendship also, because like Back to the Future is kind of the whole reason why we started this, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All
But
of those years ago.
I think it was the first thing you told me when you said we want to do a podcast. It's like I think you said we were talking about how we're both big fans of Back to the Future and we wanted to do a podcast about time travel movies. And then Erin showed me the flux capacitor tattoo and I went, "Okay, yeah, you guys are serious. I
Yeah.
guess we're in."
That's funny.
and then the cafe that we were in had a DeLorean.
I remember that.
Yeah, there was a DeLorean in
That's
the
right.
that was serendipity.
I
Shout out to
Yeah.
Wormhole.
yes. I do want to get into more about Time to Party history and its relation to Back to the Future, but Ansel, you did mention like technically the movie is made so well. Like from a script perspective, special effects, music. Like I know this is like a hard thing to just like narrow in on, but do you have a favorite element of Back to the Future that they just did above and beyond the others? I mean, I know, super hard question, but
One of the things that I was thinking about while I was watching it this time is that I'm really impressed by the way they did like the boom swings, especially
Mm,
during like the skateboarding scenes. I thought that I'd never really thought about that, but then like also when he's running into the 50s and that like back pan swing that it does, like I just think that it's so technically well done. There are also, I think that the way that they shoot the family at the beginning before he goes back is so well done of show don't
mhm,
tell, and part of that is that you feel cramped and you're in that space with them and it feels very like, ugh, like get me out of here. I think they do such a good job with the camera work there too. Like there's just so many instances of them really using the technology of camera work in order to like really nail that aesthetic of the movie.
That's a good answer. For me, it's more about the writing and the like story element. The thing that really stood out to me, and I know it's a joke in every movie ever since then, but the way that they choose to tell you about how they're going to get the DeLorean up to 88 miles per hour and collect the 1.21 gigawatts, so when he brings out the model and he apologizes for how crude the model is, and then you transition to the actual scene and it's like, oh yeah, okay, they told me this is how this is
Hmm.
going to work. And it's so good for, let's explain this completely bananas sci-fi
mhm,
concept in a way that will still make sense to you 30 minutes later into the film. And I think that's why when we were all kids, this was a movie that we watched. We could get it, like, okay, yeah, he's got to do this to travel through time. And now everything's breaking. So now he's got to like slide down a wire and plug in a thing. And, we've added complications, but I still understand the core, lightning wire hooky thing situation.
Yeah, they
yeah,
manage not to talk down to anybody. Like even like kids don't
Mm-hmm.
feel talked down to. They're
That's a
not
good
like
way to put it.
patronized by it, and the adults who are watching it, it doesn't feel like, oh my god, okay, you're cramming this down my throat. Like they did such a good job of like the way
Mm-hmm.
that they disseminate that throughout the movie. It's just so well done. You're right. The writing is just like so well done in that capacity.
yeah. Zemeckis and Gale make it so easy to suspend disbelief because like they tell you exactly what you need to know and just about there. Like the opening scene is so genius because that's a great example of show don't tell, because
Hmm.
we're not hearing any dialogue from the characters, but like we're seeing like something unfold and then the news broadcasts, and it's just so much exposition in such a small amount of time. Like
Hmm.
this is literally what they taught us in screenwriting class. Like this is how you do good exposition. And it's like, sure, there are other questions that might arise from that, like how did Doc and Marty meet? But we don't need to know. Like, it's not something that's super important to this.
Yeah, it's actually
So,
irrelevant. Like the
yeah.
fact that they just exist as a pair of friends somehow.
Yep. And
I appreciate knowing that we're better off not knowing how they became friends,
Yeah.
but it's true that it didn't need to be in there.
relevant tangent. Do you actually know the answer to that question? How did Doc and Marty meet?
Yeah, we talked about it in the last episode.
Oh my god, that's right, we did. I went.
We can do
Yeah.
a review, but we did talk about it.
I did go back and look at that answer because I forgot. But but basically, Bob Gale answered a question on, probably it was an AMA or whatever, and was like, yeah, no, Marty and Doc crossed paths because Doc was looking for a lab assistant, basically, and Marty answered the call. But in the comics, when the story played out there, they added an element that Marty was looking for, like, a part for his amp, and Needles, like, challenged him to get it because Doc took the last one and they needed it. So Marty was trying to break into Doc's house to get it back, but then Doc was just like, "Oh, are you here about the assistant position?" And
Of
then
course.
basically they just, yeah. And so they started to relate to each other, both being black sheep and, like, kind of outsiders. And, you know, Marty was like, "Oh yeah, you're pretty cool. I'll keep coming back." And the
I love
funniest
that.
thing about that whole bit is that Doc didn't even need the part that Marty was after. He only needed the box. Typical Doc Brown shit.
Classic Doc Brown.
Well, I thought we were going to talk about the original draft of Back to the Future, in which Marty was trying to get bootleg porn off of Doc.
Oh yeah, that one.
Hilarious.
No, I was wondering what the actual canon answer was.
Oh yes, that's a much better answer. Yes,
I'd be 0% surprised if Doc was, like, also growing pot, and that's how Marty met him. 0% surprised.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Oh yeah, he lives in a Burger King parking lot. Of course, he's growing his own pot.
Right.
My former local Burger King parking lot, I might add. I used to go to that shopping center to go to the Aldi because it was close to my apartment.
That's funny.
Okay.
And yes, I did go there all the time because it was the Back to the Future Burger King. So, but
That's funny.
You know, it was close by. I have a note that says Mr. Strickland isn't a great educator if he says that his students don't amount to anything.
For real.
It's telling.
What does he teach?
I'm not pro standardized testing, but I think this guy is why we have it.
Yes. Yeah, it's hilarious to me how ineffective he is as a disciplinarian.
Yeah.
Marty doesn't give a shit.
No.
4 tardies in a row. I mean,
Marty's like,
that's
eat it. I don't care.
Yeah. Sucks to suck, Strickland.
See, the disciplinarian in my high school was a priest, so you don't want to get on their bad side.
Oh no.
Because they send
they'll
you to
sick
hell,
God
right?
on you.
It's different. It's different detention.
I was going for a darker answer.
Oh, but that's even worse. Yeah. But it is right there.
It is right there. Also, a true story because he did get taken out of the position due to allegations. So, you know, Catholics.
Again, classic Catholics.
Classic. Yeah. Oh, priests. You know. You know how they
it's
are.
Always those Catholics.
Former Catholic, I can say it's true.
For you guys rewatching it this time, I mean, after we've all seen it so many times, did I'm curious if our now storied career of watching roughly one time travel movie a month for this project, some of us for the whole 5 years, do you feel like you have a different perspective on time travel movies than we did when we watched this maybe 5 years ago? Like, have you changed the way you look at time travel films?
That's a good question. I think the project as a whole, like especially the season that time that I was on, it definitely influenced the way that I was looking at the media that we were looking at. But I feel like, sort of like Ben said earlier, like this is the one that everyone draws from. And so I think watching it this time was more like, oh, that's right. This is why this is the seminal film. This is why,
Mhm.
this is why these tropes exist, is because they were literally made inside of this movie. And so, sort of, I guess, is the answer that it did bring me a different perspective of watching it this time. But also, it really just confirmed and solidified like this is the movie that people time travel from.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I get that sense of God, they don't make movies like this anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they're certainly inspired by it. I mean, Avengers Endgame, very clearly calls it out. If you haven't seen Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie, it is very much better if you don't know anything about it. But by the time this comes out, its theatrical run is probably over, and you should seek it out on digital or wherever you can. Because even though I don't want to give anything away, I will say that it pays homage to Back to the Future in a really creative and super Canadian way.
Oh, fantastic.
It is probably my favorite movie of the year, and it's only February.
Oh,
And one of my favorite comedies of the decade. Like,
damn.
Nirvana is so good, and I highly recommend everyone check it out. And the craziest part about it is like they don't really have a script. They were
Interesting.
like
Oh,
they're in the style of creating movies where it's just like, let's go out there and improv it all and then basically write in the editing room. And then we'll go out and shoot whatever we need after that. And some of the
that
I
stuff,
was
sounds
gonna say
awful.
that sounds
I'm sorry.
absolutely terrible.
I'm glad
Seeing
they
it,
I mean,
do it
it
and not
sounds like
me.
it would be a lot of fun
yeah,
to
Yeah.
seeing
shoot.
it is probably,
Yeah.
I can see how it would be very entertaining. Doing it as a former
Hmm.
actor, that makes me want to crawl out of my skin.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely. I couldn't.
Oh, see, for me, the acting part sounds fun. It's the editing part that I wouldn't
Oh
want to have to
god.
do. Oh, now I have to make sense of all this shit? No.
But it's just
It's bad enough when I have to put Ben's sentences back together.
that's true. That's pretty bad. But it's not like I've ever sent you to a actual live news broadcast outside of Drake's house to get footage of what's happening so you can squeeze it into the movie.
Oh my god.
That's true. That's never happened.
No.
And I fear I've said too much about Nirvana already, but just know that it's batshit crazy. And after you watch it, you need to like take in every interview and article out there to learn more about the process because it's just fucking nuts. I
Cool.
saw it at the Philadelphia Film
All right.
Festival.
Ben on Instagram after you watch
Yes,
it.
please. I saw it at the Philadelphia Film Festival last year because my friend saw it, I want to say, at Toronto and was like, dude, you need to see this movie. This is very much your jam. And I'm like, okay. So I went into the theater not knowing what to expect. Uh, Fucking loved it. And then the filmmakers were there, and almost the entire theater lined up afterwards to talk to them more about it. Like, the line stretched down the block from the theater just to talk to these two guys. So worth it because they're great.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, very, very heavily inspired by Back to the Future. And it's just like, again, a testament to how this incredibly crafted thing has gone on to inspire so many other incredibly crafted things.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is like you said, it's a testament to how good this movie is that it stands literally the test of time. That
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
remains a good movie to watch to this day, and also it is so culturally infused into so many other types of media, and the way that time travel specifically has been as a genre revolutionized by this movie is just so cool.
Yeah. Now, talking about some of the criticisms of this movie, like I went to a live table read of this movie, where like Bobby Moynihan was Doc Brown, and it was
Interesting.
fucking phenomenal. Yeah, no, it was
Interesting.
great. Sam Richardson was in the cast. There's a lot of great stars. Oh, and Ben Schwartz was Marty McFly. Uh,
Okay.
yeah. And so my friend, who's not as she doesn't have as much of a sweet spot for Back to the Future as I do, but she was just like, something that always bothered me was the incest.
Oh yes, I took a bunch of notes on the incest.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And I mean, John Mulaney famously talks about it in one of his specials, and it's like,
Hmm.
yeah.
but to be fair to Mr. Mulaney, Marty's not trying to fuck his mom.
Oh no.
It's the other way around.
Hold on. Hold on, though. Hold on. Because I thought about
Okay.
that and I was like, oh, yeah, it's so good that he's not actually trying to fuck his mom. But then I watched the movie and was reminded that his plan hinges on I am going to sexually assault my
Yeah.
mom so that my dad can come defend her honor.
Yeah. Not great. It's not great.
It's not great. Not great.
I think it's. I'd rather think of it as a plot hole rather than anything else. That
Yeah.
it's like that. That's just a plot hole. We're just gonna like kind of hand wave that part away.
See,
We really just needed to set up a surprise that she's into it. That's
There could be so many other worse
we're
things.
heightening the other
No one's in
moment.
blackface. That I feel like it's
Mhm.
anything can only go up from there.
Hey, this was the 80s. We could have done a lot of
Mhm.
awful things.
oh yeah.
Yeah, for the
Like-
80s, this is literally a hand wave. They don't even think about it.
Mm-hmm,
I like to think that Marty just didn't think that far ahead. Like he just put up a mental block at that point and was like, "We'll get to it when we get to it. Hopefully, we don't get to it. Hopefully, George is on time and we don't get to it." But speaking of George, that's the other thing. Him being a peeping Tom, not
Mhm.
great.
Mm-hmm.
It's treated as a bad thing, though. It's not like
Yeah.
it's not hand waved away
Yeah.
in the sexual assault way. It is directly acknowledged, like, oh, you met because my dad's a creep. Like, it's such a good realization for Marty too, that it really it showed not tell for him. Also, he's learning something pivotal about his dad's character in those moments.
I knew my parents were depressing and sad,
Mhm.
but now I
Mhm.
know just how bad it is.
Oh, George.
Yeah,
Oh, George.
man. Everything surrounding George is a wild ride, like both in the movie and in real life.
For real.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about that when we did the
Mhm.
second movie too, about like
Right.
he did landmark cases against giant media corporations and fucking won.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is because he was
Mhm.
so good in this movie that they wanted to replicate him in the second movie. Like, because he's great. He's really good in this part. He is so good at being a sniveling dipshit, and then he's so good at being like this self-assured man at the end when he's a actually published writer. It's I think that Crispin Glover does such a good job of the breadth of character that George has to go through too, as well. I feel like we haven't really talked about this, but part of what makes it a perfect movie is the acting and the people who are in the cast. And I feel like
Mhm.
Crispin Glover is a
Mhm.
really good example of that, of the way that he moves as a character across this movie is each character is distinct, and you can see that in the show don't tell that they do of him, and especially in those moments of the peeping Tom too. You get this like, oh, this is my gross dad as a teenager. It's I just think they did such a good job with it, writing wise and acting wise.
Yeah, the cast is stacked.
I just had a terrible
Oh no, what is
realization.
that?
Uh-oh.
Ben, you went to theater school. Tell me if it's different in movies. George is the only character who has an arc of growth across the term of this film.
I would argue that Biff is supposed to have that what happens with him is supposed to be a growth of character. He winds up as
He's humbled,
yes.
yeah. But like George, classically speaking, George is the main character of this film.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one who experiences growth through change. There's an inciting incident that brings him to self-actualization, and then we see at the end the positive results of that change. Marty is Marty the whole way through.
Yeah, he's just worried about getting back to Jennifer and that date.
That my last note on my notes is just all capitalism, because that is like the whole thing with Marty in this. The only thing he cares about is like capitalism and getting back and getting the truck and being able to impress Jennifer by going to XYZ. Like it, Marty doesn't grow like at all. He's like, he fucks with the future so bad and then comes back and everyone has grown except for him. He's still the dipshit 17-year-old son, and everyone else has become these like very presentable, we all feel great about our lives and our careers, and then there's Marty.
Yeah, because I mean, even Doc gets his moment to grow by the third one. But you know, it takes Marty a much longer time, and I feel like his growth isn't as large per se, because like I'm trying does he grow in the second one?
I mean, we see him get less reactive and less prone to make dumb mistakes because he is learning from the iteration, right? Like Marty has done this 3 times, and Marty, like us, knows that this is the 3rd time he's seen this same dumb thing happen. So I think by the 3rd one, we do see Marty start to learn not to let Biff call him out. The way that things are going to repeat themselves, he starts to learn. So I think over the course of the trilogy, we certainly get to see some growth. But in this film, you're absolutely right, Erin. He's a dipshit who wants to take his girlfriend on a ride in that fancy truck, and then at the end of the movie, he does so.
Yep, that's it. That's the whole deal.
That's the movie. Along the way, he has to make out with his mom. I don't know.
You get
what
rewarded
to tell
with
you.
a car in the future if you make out with your mom. I don't know.
That's the takeaway.
It, not gonna lie.
But she's younger and hotter, so it's less weird.
Somehow.
I oh my god, that's just something I did not think of until you just brought that up. Because yeah, totally, George is the one who fits into the hero's journey of this movie. He hits all those milestones.
If this were a script writing class,
It's a really good observation.
Yeah. Like, oh man, but
it's not a script writing class. Marty McFly's. That's why academia is flawed occasionally.
Occasionally.
Occasionally. It's perfect most of the time. Doing great.
Time travel mechanism. I mean, this is like the time travel mechanism. You know, this is the one that people think about, you know? The flux capacitor is fluxing, you know? We don't really need to know any more than that.
And I like that it gave us 2 clear elements. Has to be 88 miles per hour and has to be 1.21 gigawatts. So that we can have this movie where the problem is 1.21 gigawatts and later movies where the problem is 88 miles per hour. Like that's brilliant design of your time travel machine. Because because we get the immediate problem of, let me show you the box of plutonium. Don't leave this
Mhm.
behind. Oh no, I have to leave it behind. Done. Perfect.
Yeah, it sets it up so well.
And I was thinking like how, as a designer, Doc probably should have like thought of a way to store the plutonium where the Mr. Fusion goes, like should have built that into the plans.
That would be
but
smart.
like then we wouldn't have the whole dilemma that we're in. So this is where I wanted to talk about Back to the Future, the musical.
Oh, okay.
All right, then let's do it.
Because
have the floor.
Okay, it's not a great musical.
I like the soundtrack just fine.
The soundtrack is great, minus a few songs here or there. The technical aspects are phenomenal. The way they make the DeLorean move on that stage is like next level shit. But like what you were talking about with the flux capacitor, they add an element in the musical that does not make sense, and it kind of kills it, for me at least. And that is, they make the DeLorean voice activated.
No.
That's right.
And I'm like,
that's right.
That's so unnecessary. You don't need that as another it's a hat on a hat. We already have problems. We don't need this extra bit of problem.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah, it does not work in the show. I don't know why they did it. And then, they change so very little about the story on stage, but the things that they change are just so unnecessary.
Yeah, that's a lot of what I've heard, is that there's just change for change's sake, and like, why?
Yeah. And it didn't help that the guy that I saw was basically doing a Christopher Lloyd impression. Whereas I'm sure Roger Bart, who originated the role of Doc Brown on Broadway, made it his own in some way. So I think that probably would have helped at least. But the guy who was playing Marty was really good. I totally saw him, as becoming fully that character. But like, yeah, the time travel element of the musical is a bit weaker because of that extra bit that they tacked on and it's not even like, oh, they did it so that it's more theatrical. No, because like it's a disembodied voice that we're hearing over the loudspeaker. Like it adds no cool visual or anything by changing that. So it was just real dumb. But
I seem to recall you thinking shortly after you saw it the first time, or saw it, that the voice activation might have been to make something more clear for theatrical audiences that we didn't need in films. Do you still think that might be the case?
No. I mean, looking back on it now, I don't think it was a big enough problem that it would have been necessary. And that's not even just like assuming that everyone has already seen Back to the Future and gets it. Like, part of what makes Back to the Future so appealing is that it's wrapped up in this nice little package that doesn't really need to be questioned that much, because you're already along for the ride because of how fun and engaging and suspenseful everything is. So, to mess with that formula doesn't seem like territory they should be exploring. But whatever, it's still running, it's touring. The time machine looks fucking great on stage. But whatever. I mean,
that's reason enough.
Like, the theatricality of that is pretty sick. But Doc Brown has a number opening the second act that is so fucking weird that, that I don't know if that's worth it. But at least we still have the movie.
That's right. The movie will never leave us or disappoint us, except for the incest.
Can't take it away.
Right, exactly.
Which apparently we're all okay with.
Yep. Again, we're gonna hand wave that one away.
I mentioned the suspense of the story, you know, and the literal ticking clock of the clock tower and the lightning strike and how everything is so choreographed that it has to be so precise
Mhm.
to match up. My God, Robert Zemeckis' directing in that moment, Christopher Lloyd's acting in that moment. We all know
Mhm.
what's going to happen, but we're still glued to the screen
Mhm.
every single time. And that's just like, how do you get any better than that? You know?
Mhm.
It's just, uh,
Yeah, like you're saying,
uh,
it's such a good showcase of theatrical talent, of
mm,
just all around
Mhm.
theatrical talent in so many different ways. Like that part where he almost falls off of the clock, every single time that I watch it, I'm like,
mhm.
oh God, don't fall. Even though I know that he does not fall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd really is at hit the height of his
Hmm.
powers in this, and I say that knowing that Roger Rabbit exists.
He was only like
Um,
42 when he made this movie, also, which is like bizarre. He looks, for me, I'm like, oh, this is a man in his 60s and 70s, even though I know that's not true. The makeup is really good in the first part.
Mhm. It's true. Because it's just like seeing him go from
yeah,
Taxi,
the age makeup is surprisingly
I
good.
think they do
mhm,
a great job with the age makeup.
yeah, throughout the franchise, even, you know, with the McFlys and with Biff and the legacy of Back to the Future. As we've said, you know, generations are still connecting with this movie, you know, through and now through the musical, through comic books, through video games. R.I.P. the ride, but Universal has been doing this thing called Fan Fest nights that they did last year for the first time, and a big part of it was that guests could go back to Hill Valley in 1955. Basically, the tram for the backlot tour takes you to Courthouse Square and lets you walk around like you're in Back to the
Cool.
Future, almost like a Sleep No More type theater installation. You can follow whatever characters you want, and the storyline plays out. It's glorious. I loved it so much. I followed Biff and George for a little while, and it was a lot of fun. Just watching Biff be a dickbag and watching George try to, you know, ask Lorraine to dance.
Cute.
Oh my god. Biff's car, sans manure, was on display in the field. Um I went to take a selfie
Nice.
with Marty, and he was just like, "Why are you holding your mirror like that?" And I was just like, "Yes,
Hilarious.
this is what I want from
Hmm.
Universal. It's so great."
There it is.
And then they recreate the lightning bolt
Cool.
striking the clock tower, and then the fire from the
Oh,
DeLorean like wheels and the license plate spinning is set up like where it did in the movie.
Cool.
So fucking cool. I don't think they're doing it for the
that's sick.
next FanFest nights because they're making room for like new experiences. But it's just like, God, this, please embrace Back to the Future in the Universal
Hmm.
Studios theme parks again. Like, we used to be a proper society. At, at the end of this experience, when you get back on the tram and get back to the main park, Doc Brown from 1985 is there with like you know, it's like a photo setup of the clock tower, basically, where, you know, you can pass him the cord to connect
Cool.
it to the thing.
Oh, cool.
But I was wearing this shirt that I'm wearing right now because on the back of it, it's the same logo from the Back to the Future the ride for the Time Institute, and I showed it to him, and he was just
Ah,
like, "Ah, you missed the Institute too," and I'm like, "Yeah, it's been really tough finding another gig since then," and he's just like, "Yeah, freelancing's a bummer," and I'm like,
You
"You
get
get it,
it.
Doc."
You understand, Doc Brown.
part timer Doc
Mhm.
Brown, who's only there for this experience. Yeah, that Doc Brown does
Yeah,
get it.
meta on so many levels. Well, the
Mhm.
question that we ask at the end of every episode of Time to Party, where we're
Mhm.
reviewing a movie.
Yes.
Erin, is Back to the Future worth your time?
Let me think super hard and long about that. Yes. Yes, it is. It's absolutely worth your time. It holds up in so many ways. There are like plot holes a little bit, but it's easy to look past them,
Mhm.
which I think makes it worth your time. I think that knowing that it's a seminal part of film history makes it worth your time. I think that the fact that it's a perfect movie makes it worth your time. Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely think it's worth people's time. I can see why people don't like the second one, even though I'm an apologist for it, as we talked about long ago.
Yeah.
Uh, but like this, you don't have to be an apologist about this one. It's just a great movie, and you can really just enjoy it.
Yep. Ansel, still
Yeah.
worth your time?
I have to agree. I have
Mhm.
to agree. Yeah, I have to agree completely. It's. I would say it is so worth your time as to be nearly mandatory. Like if you want to be watching time travel movies, this one is an important
Mm-hmm.
part of your baseline understanding of
Mm-hmm.
what that even
Mhm.
means. Um, yeah, it's foundational. It's so important.
Now, Erin, as a parent, how early would you introduce Back to the Future
I would
to
do
your
it
child?
now. He's 4. I don't think that it would be inappropriate for him to watch that. He's not really a movie person yet, and so that's part of why I haven't really introduced him to it. But I think in the future will really enjoy it. He has. You gave me a Back to the Future how to tell time book that Gene really likes, so that I think he'll get there in sort of like you did with the ride. He'll be like, "Oh, this book," and then this is the movie that my mom loves. So I think it will come some year very soon.
Hell yeah.
Are are you waiting for the moment when he points at the
Hmm
flux capacitor
I'm
and then
waiting
your
for. I
arm?
think more he'll go do it on my arm and ask me what it is, and so then it can be this is related to this book, which is related to this movie.
Oh,
Yep, I
so
think that that'll be
it'll
part
be a
of it too.
portal in.
He's at an age where he asks about my tattoos and he like has
Mhm.
favorites, and then there's other ones he's like never noticed before, and so that is one that he's never noticed before. So it will be interesting when he does to be like, "This is what this is. Do you want to watch these movies with me?"
Aw.
Yep.
Gosh, what a precious
Oh,
concept. That's it warms the cockles of me heart. That does.
Ansel, when do you introduce Back to the Future to the cats?
I mean, yesterday, I guess. So one.
Were they afraid of Einstein?
No, completely disinterested about Einstein. One of them was
hmm
interested in
Yep.
the
Ooh.
skateboarding.
Tracks.
Uh, so they know a good scene when they see it.
Yeah. Well, party people, I don't know what else we can say about Back to the
hmm
Future that hasn't been said already. I mean,
Watch it.
like,
Yeah.
it is,
Watch it.
yeah, absolutely. Watch it. There's something
hmm
for everybody, and it's short enough that even if you don't like it, which, what are you doing not liking it? What's wrong
Yeah.
with you?
Jerk.
Even if you don't like it, it's not that much of a time commitment.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
God,
I know.
Back to the Future
It's
is
so
so
good.
good, guys. Oh, well,
Mm.
you can find us on the internet. I'm B Silverio 20, wherever I'm at on the internet.
I'm Urgency on Instagram.
I'm at The Indecisionist on all the Meta properties and Blue Sky. And we are on Letterboxd, where you can check out all of the movies we have watched and all the movies we're planning on watching, including this one. If people want them, we can put reviews on there, but we haven't. So right
Fantastic.
now it's just a list of the movies we've watched. Um, engage with us, and maybe we'll do more
Yeah.
work. But for right now,
Nice.
it's a real good reference.
At this point, we used to say a bunch of hashtags, but I don't think they're a
Right.
thing
Yeah,
anymore.
that's right. We don't need to do that
After
anymore.
5 years.
Yeah,
Well-
nobody's really. I found out recently that you can only put 4 on
Wow.
Instagram now. There's now a limit on how many hashtags you can put in there. So yeah, it's a
Which is probably for the
Yeah.
better.
yeah. But I'm definitely guilty of most of the caption being hashtags, so I feel that. But yeah. This has been an Indecisionist production. Special thanks to April Moralba for our podcast art, and to Marlon Longid of Marlon and the Shakes for our amazing theme song.
Party people, your density has brought us to you. So until next time, be excellent to each other.
And party on, dudes!
Party on, dudes. I was like, what is that? I know, I remember. It's like, this is my one line and I don't remember what it is.
If you want to take another shot at it, I'll edit it in like you remembered.
No, I will say it now, but you should leave this in.
That's yep.
Oh my god.
Big fan. It's okay. We'll
Yes,
we'll
okay.
nail it the second time.